to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Yo, fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like to dance. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll it grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low? Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it. Can't control it, I come hold it. It's all in fun, so take a chance. Just get on the floor and do that dance, y'all. I know you like it, so don't try to fight it. Turn around, baby, let me see you from the back. Yeah, I like it like that. Get up now, roll those hips. Drop down, double up on those dips. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Back again with the second verse. It's all clean, so I'm not gonna curse. Drop a bass like a bad habit. Love all women, cause I gotta have it. Coming at y'all in stereo. I'm riding that thing like a rodeo. Hang on, baby, cause the ride is rough, and I got my girls in the front. Now and later, just bumping that rump. Raise it up, let me see that brown. Slap it, girl, make it jiggle around. Round and round that rump goes. Where it stop, yo, no one knows, yeah. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind.
Well, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you ain't dipping, you must be tripping. If you ain't doing it down low, got to go. Got to go. So the people that moving slow, just moving slow. Yo, DJ, pump it up some more.
It's off to the show in a limo. Before the show, I gotta get that dough. Pay them girls what they work. Slip that money under that skirt. Take it off, baby, let me see. You might get a little more Lucci. G-string, having oh so much fun. Playing inside between them buns. Shorty got it going on like Marvin. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. I'm setting it off to another level. You digging freak nasty without a shovel? This is my world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, join this jam and watch that flow get taken over like in '94. When I had the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Shh, yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing it? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip.
All right, Chad, how we all doing? How's everybody doing? Oh, that's right. Let's get some likes. Let's get some super chats. Streamlabs.com/thebeckmuff. I got no Luke tonight. I don't know where he is. I don't know where Luke is. I messaged him. I don't know. I hope he pops in. But I do have Liam Gray, everyone's least favorite Australian.
How you doing?
How's it going?
All right, man. I'm just packing, hanging out.
So I watched. Oh, go ahead.
No, just have you got that inked or in the process of being colored yet, or is that still where it's at?
Oh, yeah, he's done a ton of shading to it. I just don't have that version on the computer. I think I tweeted it. He fixed a few other things, like he made Vampirel's boots black like they're supposed to. He took the pupils out of Cyberfrog. But yeah, it's basically just going to be like that. I'm gonna get it framed once I actually physically get
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
of course. You want to get it framed. Like, what's your how big is it? What's canvas size is it on?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I think it's like a small poster size because I don't have a ton of wall space, so I didn't need them to make it huge.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's bigger than like a printer page.
Yeah, it's not like a comic book page size. It's almost like, I think it's closer to like a magazine's page size.
Cool. Yeah, it looks good.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the dimensions. I might be remembering it wrong.
Yeah, no, it still looks cool.
I saw Backrooms a few days ago. Sometime between the last time I went live, I watched Backrooms.
Have I lost you to the Backrooms hype? Are you now are you gonna throw Masters Universe? I
am gonna give it the most backhanded compliment imaginable. I am gonna say that Backrooms is as good as a movie about a creepypasta made by a 21-year-old could possibly be.
Well, that's good. That's good.
It was okay. Like, when I see Zoomers like glazing it, I'm like, you just haven't watched any movies before, have you?
Yeah,
it's fine. Like, a lot of it's dull. A lot of it's really fucking dull. I'm not gonna lie. The monsters are kind of cool. Like, they're these like fucked up mannequin things. Most of them don't do anything. They just kind of look cool. There's one that actually does something. He's like a big pirate version of the main character. And he's the least scary one because he kind of looks more goofy than anything else. I finally get the joke. I heard somebody make a joke that I like the part where the giant Isom took a bite out of Eric July. And now I finally get the joke because the giant pirate Clark takes a bite out of the main Clark. And it's like, okay, I get it now. And it certainly doesn't deserve this kind of hype. See, the biggest problem with it is that it leans super, super heavily on the atmosphere, which isn't inherently a bad thing, especially for a horror movie. It's just that the atmosphere is fucking lame. Like, it really is. I'm sorry, Zoomers. An empty room isn't fucking scary. Like, none of this is scary. Oh, the fluorescent lights are humming. Like, what happened in your generation? Like, Jesus.
But you don't understand the existential dread of understanding that with each buzz and hum of that fluorescent light is a reminder that there's a power bill coming at the end of the month. You know, they're going to have to pay that.
It's not. I wouldn't recommend.
It's symbolic of the impending mundanity of adulthood. You know. I
don't know. I still want to watch Obsession. I've heard much better things about that, and I have higher hopes about that. But I got a chance to watch Backrooms for free, and I'm not going to say how, but somebody said it to me, and I was like, okay. So I sat down, and I was like, this is, I don't know, like it's a weird, quirky little horror movie, and I'm probably being a little bit harder on it than I should, because the hype around it is so absurd.
Baby's got Backrooms. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Baby got Backrooms. That's right.
Yeah, it's funny.
But it's nothing fucking special, especially if you've watched a lot of horror movies in particular. Like, yeah, the mannequin things, the ones that don't do anything are the creepier looking ones. And it's like, you see it, but it's like, wow, that's pretty fucked up. And then it does fuck all. It's like, okay. Very anticlimactic. And she's running away from the big pirate Clark. Yeah, the therapist character. And I'm just like, I don't really buy this thing as much of a threat. She even kicks the stupid peg leg out at one point. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like just give me a bat and I could take this thing down.
You're gonna go Gungula on this motherfucker.
I just feel like, okay, like like maybe hand to hand I don't stand a chance, but give me a bat.
Yeah,
I feel like I could just take out its
slap on a hockey mask and a baseball bat, maybe a hockey stick, and you can.
Its long, spindly limbs, I feel like, are pretty easy targets.
Yeah, break those motherfuckers like pipe cleaners. Tie them up in them. You know?
Chat's like, yeah, watch Prince of Darkness for better outcome. Prince of Darkness is a great movie. I think it's actually possibly. Oh God, I'm blanking on that director's name. The guy that did John Carpenter. I think it's kind of my favorite John Carpenter movie. Like everyone's talking about like The Thing and shit like that. It's like those are great, but it's like man, Prince of Darkness is just so fucking creative and shit. I love it. But yeah, Backrooms is. I don't know. Y'all Zoomers ain't watched any movies, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. I've been too busy living my personal hell out daily. But maybe one day I will. I tried to watch Supergirl and I could only get like halfway through it and I didn't care anymore. But I'll tell you what's fucking gold. What's actually really enjoyable. The last episode of King of the Hill. Even if you don't rewatch all the two new seasons, anyone that's even remotely a fan of King of the Hill should watch the very last episode of season 15.
I was never big into King of the Hill. King of the Hill had really brilliant moments to it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. A lot of it was kind of dull to me.
Yeah, it was dull to me too growing up. It was like I wasn't into it. I was a Beavis and Butthead guy. You know what I mean? I thought it was bland.
Even in my 20s, I had a girlfriend that was super into King of the Hill, and I watched a ton of
really.
it. And I'm like, I was like, it's all right.
Yeah, no,
like there were times it was amazing, but most of the time I was like, I don't know, I'd rather be watching something else.
Yeah, no, parts of it are bland, but like I went back and rewatched it as an adult, and I got really into it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. Especially now I'm an older conservative man. I got to fix things and build things, and I have a family and shit. But like the latest series, right, that they just released on Hulu, it was like meh, not terrible, not great. It was enjoyable, but the last episode is like a catharsis for the entire thing. Like Hank Hill, it's a flashback, and we get to see Hank quit from Buck. Like Hank quits after bullshit that goes on. It's the story of like how he ends up going over to work in Saudi Arabia, and then like he comes back, and like he ends up becoming like manager of Strickland and taking his life back, and all the old cast return. And it was like if they don't make another episode, I'll be happy. But I felt like this should have been the first episode of the revival. You know, when
I started watching the revival, I get like 2 minutes in, and they're on the plane, and Peggy is being annoying, talking about Hank's broken dick, and I was like, I think I kind of remember why I didn't watch this that much, and I went,
yeah, Peggy's difficult, man, and they made her more difficult in the new season, but there's actually less of her because it focuses more on Hank and Bobby throughout the rest of the season. So, whereas it's like they were like, we're gonna have less Peggy, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna condense all of the Peggy to be even more obnoxious in the little time that she's on screen.
Concentrated Peggy.
Yeah, concentrate her fucking, like cringeness.
Acadian Comics says, I'm going to meet Rob Liefeld on Saturday. Is there anything important I need to tell him? Yes. If you could please tell him to stop. That would be great. It's time to stop, Rob.
I love Rob. No.
Fucking
keep him going.
Youngblood is back.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a top-selling Image book, and I'm like, this man literally blew a demon when he was 19. There's no other explanation for this continued career. It's time to stop, Rob. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. Okay, it was funny for a while, but though in all fairness, after the 2010s, I remember seeing some dog shit art at Marvel, where it was like I longed for the halcyon days of yore where Rob Liefeld was the worst mainstream comic book artist. Dude, and then I saw that bitch that was drawing Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. And it was just like watching a mirror shatter right in front of your face. Like,
I was like, oh my God, we didn't know how good we had it.
Yeah. You turn around in slow motion, running back, hand extended to Rob Liefeld, but it's too late. It's too late. You're in hell now.
When I was going over Isom, because maybe a year or two ago at this point, somebody had sent me on Discord just PDFs of the whole thing. I didn't buy it, thankfully. I would have if it was good. If somebody sent me a PDF and I was like, oh, this is great, I'd have gone out and bought me a copy. But it was dog shit. And the one thing I remembered about the art was because the writing reminded me of the worst of like early Image, like just nonsensical horseshit. But the art, I remember thinking like, at least Image had good art, and when it didn't have good art, it had interesting art.
Yeah.
Like Rob isn't good, but man, I have had some grand old times back, especially back when I was selling comics, going through Rob Liefeld books and just shitting on them unmercifully with my buddies, just going panel after panel, just pointing out everything that's just fucked up and wrong. In some ways, I should thank Rob for all the good times I've had.
You should.
In a backwards, roundabout way, he was a great entertainer.
You should say to Arcadian Comics to tell Rob Liefeld that he has brought you much joy with his comic books.
Yes, tell Rob Liefeld that your good friend Beglov said, have you ever made fun of somebody so much you feel like you should thank them for all the good times you've had?
No,
and on that note, thank you, Rob.
Stop being mean to Rob Liefeld. He's had enough. He's had enough.
He's the creator of Deadpool, don't you know?
Yeah.
Now, granted, Joe Kelly is the creator of anything you like about Deadpool, but I'm not a Rob fan, but at least it. Oh my God, some of the art I saw from Marvel in the 2010s, in particular, was atrocious. Like laughably.
How much do you know? Unrelated. I'm deflecting from the hatred. I'm bringing you back into the positive light of comics. Actually, I'm redirecting to a new hate. How much do you know about the? This is my current fucking hang up. How much do you know about the Inhumans?
But just like in general, I know a decent amount. Yeah, I was a huge Marvel guy back in the day.
What about their origins? What do you know about the origins of the Inhumans?
I know there's a bunch of ancient alien shit involving the Kree. I know they're like an isolated branch of humanity, and that they get powers when their coming of age ceremony. They're exposed.
They're exposed to the Terrigen Mist.
Terrigen Mist, cool. Yeah.
So now, what if I told you that fucking Charles Xavier is the biggest motherfucker in the universe, and that we've been lied to about what the X-Men are for like.
Oh, are they trying to say they were Inhumans now?
No. So the origin of the Celestials is that the Celestials we see rocking around the Marvel universe, right? Mm-hmm. Is that once upon a time, long ago, the one above all created the universe. He created mankind, everything that we sort of planned for reality. There was a single reality, right? There wasn't a multiverse. This is sort of newish lore. I'm going to go to newish lore, then back to the past, okay? So there was a single sort of universe. Then what the Celestials originally were would create things. They would show it to the one above all, and if it was good and he approved of it, it would be allowed to continue to exist, like the species of humanity. And if it was not to his approval, then they would destroy it and make something else. Well, a whole bunch of Celestials decided, we kind of want to experience our own creations. So, like, we're not going to destroy the things we create and present them to the one above all for approval. We're just going to make shit and then fuck around with it and see what happens. And so the one above all and the good Celestials said, yeah, fuck you, into a parallel universe, which created the first alternate reality, which created like reality 2 from reality 1, right? And then from there, they kept creating shunted realities. Now, these Celestials, the ones that work for the one above all and one above all, they're out of our reach. We know nothing about them, right? But the Celestials that are around the Marvel Universe now, the guys you recognize, then went around to the Skrull, the Kree, and eventually humanity, and they're fucked with them. They're like, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to make the Eternals, right? And the Eternals are going to be able to be completely immortal, free of disease, free of aging, free of all of this other shit. And if they die, they're just going to be reborn out of this rock into this mold. It's going to be great. We're going to make the guys that the humans are evolved from, it starts with D. I've fucking forgotten it now. You know, the freaks.
The Deviants.
The Deviants, thanks. We're going to make the Deviants. And then the third Celestial, each one of these is made by a different Celestial. The third Celestial said, okay, and then I'm going to take these Homo erectus things that are evolving alongside humanity, like these big red apes. Okay, and this is old law. This part, we're going to take these big red apes, and I'm going to put a gene in them that essentially allows them to get the qualities of the deviants, but they'll eventually evolve the qualities of the deviants, and they'll evolve the qualities of the Eternals, but they won't be them. They'll be a third lineage, right? And then these guys will breed and spread that gene throughout humanity. And that's what fucking mutants are. They're not like the evolution of humanity. They're this offshoot side thing that was built to breed into humans, and that's why there are the externals, right? Who are not the Eternals, like the externals, like Apocalypse and Gideon and all of these other motherfuckers, right? Who become immortal and stuff and, you know, don't die. They even thought for a while that Cannonball was one of them. But, like, these motherfuckers are literally like Xavier's going around telling everyone that mutants are the next evolution of humanity and all of this. They're not human evolution. We don't know what human evolution looks like because the X gene has essentially taken the credit for it. Like, if you were to take a normal human being that didn't have the X gene and, like, he was to somehow evolve, he would have completely different fucking powers and be a completely different thing to a mutant. And I think that that's what Franklin Richards is. Because now Franklin Richards isn't a mutant, even though he was a mutant, because apparently Franklin Richards was just willing himself to be a mutant. So he doesn't actually have the fucking X gene.
Well,
So
I remember about 20 years ago, the lore was the reason there are mutants and the reason that humanity is inclined towards mutating and getting superpowers. You know, why does the gamma bomb not just disintegrate Bruce Banner? Is because there's a celestial fetus essentially in the earth. That's how celestial.
Yeah, that's canon now. That's canon. That used to be just an offshoot thing, but that is now canon.
Well, I remember in early first time I read it was Earth X, which was its own.
Yeah, Earth X. That was it.
I do remember reading it in the main universe after that, and Galactus's whole like purpose in the universe is to like just perform celestial abortions to keep their population down.
He's
like that's basically what he does, what he feeds.
And now I'm wondering about the Beyonders, right? Because the Beyonders are going around and they're like killing all the Celestials in all these alternate realities. And I think they should because, okay, once upon a time, before the Celestials did their fucking experiment on humanity and shit, who's called the Sky Fathers, like Odin, Zeus, Vishnu, all of the gods, right? They were on Earth. This is all like old stuff. And it's like they were on Earth protecting the Earth and guiding humanity and stuff, right? And then the Celestials came along and said, you're fucking with our experiment, fuck off. And the gods said, no, humanity's under our protection. And they built the Destroyer armor. And the Celestials destroyed the first incarnation of Destroyer armor, beat the shit out of all of the gods. And then the gods said, okay, we don't want any trouble, and left. And that's the reason that the gods abandoned humanity, because the Celestials wanted to bring around this new age of apocalypse and bring around this new age of mutation, and they didn't want the gods there protecting humanity from their experiment on them. It's fucked. It's I
remember back on comic boards in the 2000s, I was talking about every time Galactus feeds, he's performing an abortion. And I started a massive fucking flame war between people because they're like, "It's not funny, man." And somebody else is like, "I'm pro-choice where Galactus is concerned." And then one person's like trying to really argue. He's like, "Well, he's technically a different species, so it's more like a predator. It's more like a predator coming around eating the eggs of something."
But yeah, no, so I've had a bee up my ass about this though, dude. I've been I read all this shit and then I watched this stuff and then I went and I read these fucking books and I was like, holy shit, the mutants have been lying to us, and these guys have been around, like the externals, not the Eternals, the externals. Those guys have been around for forever, secretly guiding humanity. And the only reason that mutant kind hasn't taken over the fucking planet is because in the old days, humanity would rise up and just destroy all of the fucking mutants. And it's the other reason that mutants don't really breed true, you know, because they've got that deviant gene inside them, so they just create random abilities. or variations of the
second generation mutants used to be the ones that had two powers.
Yeah.
Like Nightcrawler has two powers. He teleports, but then he's also like a weird monster with a weird tail and shit. Like those are two completely unrelated things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the explanation for the multiverse used to be that, I mean, it was partially the quantum idea of like, you know, the Schrodinger's cat collapses in two different realities kind of thing. You know, every moment branches off. But also the explanation was anytime you time travel, you're creating an alternate universe.
Well, so that's the other thing.
And then Bendis in the 2000s kind of was like, no, I don't like that, and ignored that for certain stories, and they just let him do that because he was Bendis.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? You know Moira Mataga, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that she's a mutant?
I don't remember her being a mutant.
Do you know what her mutant?
I think that's new. But
do you know what her mutant power is?
No.
Her mutant power is when she dies, she reverts back in time to the point of her birth and relives reality and relives the universe over again.
Well, again, that would just be making new realities.
Yeah, and she retains all of her memories. And so she worked, and this is actually old, this is from old 80s comics. And so she worked with Xavier. Part of the reasons that she worked with Xavier and Xavier knew which mutants to get and shit is because she wanted to help him achieve his dream. Because when he learned about her and everything, he was essentially able to crib note reality and cheat and go like, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z to get to where we want, because she's on to like her 8th fucking incarnation of life where she's like lived this shit out. And it's like, it's fucked. Like, and Xavier knows the true origin of mutant kind. Xavier knows all of this shit. Like, forget piling on his head over him knowing like the future from, you know, Age of Apocalypse and shit, and being a dickhead about it anyway. He knew the origin of mutant kind and then deliberately taught his child soldiers wrong and created a fucking publicity campaign to like reframe mutants as the next evolution of humanity when they're not. They're just a sort of an alternate evolution of humanity. They're not any different to the superhumans and stuff.
You could spend about 4 hours here discussing the many crimes of Charles Xavier.
I know.
People want to give Hank Pym shit because he slapped his wife around and made a killer robot. And it's like, that pales in comparison to Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck is a fuck. I want a shirt that says Chuck is a fuck.
The one thing I don't like when they're doing like multiverse stories is when they try to do something like where they're like, this is or like they'll have a character and say there's only one of this character in the whole multiverse. And I'm like, well, if timelines keep splitting, how could that possibly be the case?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind multiverse, but there should be like an element of mystery about it where it feels massive and unknowable. You know, because it's like, I don't think there would be infinite universes, because that's not a number. That's a concept that breaks numbers. But like, it could be just some unimaginable number, some number with like 1 trillion digits. You know what I mean? Where it's like the number of atoms in a universe pales in comparison to the number of universe. You know what I mean? Where it should just, I don't mind using it, but I don't like when they make it small and manageable. It should feel like this impossible to, like, you don't want to go into it because it feels like diving into the ocean. You know what I mean? It feels like just being in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with no boat, just floating there like, oh, this is just a nightmare. This is unfathomably big, and it breaks my brain.
Oh my God. I got to tell you, I just learned about this too. Did you know about the? Remember how in the 1980s in the old Thing comic they fucking revealed in parentheses that Lockjaw was like a dude that was turned into like a dog?
Yeah. He was sapient for a while. That ran through into the 90s.
Yeah. Do you know how they retconned it? You know how they retconned it out?
How's that?
It's funny as shit. So later on, Quicksilver's like recounting the story to his like therapist about what was going on and everything in like a much later comic, completely unrelated to this shit. And they reveal that 2 of the fucking Inhuman guys were like using this like radio device to like throw a sound off fucking Lockjaw's forehead, and it was them just fucking with him like college bros. They were just doing a silly gay monster voice and going, "I used to be a man," to fuck with Quicksilver and the Thing. So like it was just like who was it? It was the it was like the fucking, I think it was like the Gorgon guy, and I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look again. But I laughed so hard. It's just like it showed he's like going over telling the story in the retcon, and like the panel art is done in the traditional 1980s style. So it's like this old panel that we never saw of these two guys like hunched over a microphone, like one's covering his mouth and they're laughing as they talk out, and they talk for Lockjaw. Apparently, so that's how they retconned it. So either it's lying to Quicksilver and he is sapient and he, once a man, or it really is these guys just were fucking around. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of funny. I prefer him to be a man, but I think it's funny if it's two guys fucking with him.
But yeah, I read almost no Marvel at this point. I really don't. There'll be mini series or something that'll interest me that I'll hop into. Usually some crossover. Like I think I picked up Predator on versus Planet of the Apes #1 this week.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
I didn't read it yet. I just got it today. I didn't have a chance to read it yet. But I mean, it's a cool. It feels like a concept that would be pretty hard to fuck up. Yeah. Like just have the Planet of the Apes people and they're fighting the Predator. Like it's a hard concept to fuck up. Like Predator and Alien crossovers in comics are nearly a subgenre of themselves, and I love it because they're just wonderful antagonists you can pretty much put against anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think I got another one. There's I gave up on the Absolute Universe over at DC because I don't know, man. I just lost interest. The Batman book was just a whole bunch of manga tropes, and it was kind of getting old to me. And Superman and Wonder Woman were still pretty good, but it was like I just sort of lost interest in the universe as a whole. So the line was getting really big, so I was like, whatever. It's funny, I sold all those books. They were fucking pricey as shit.
Were they?
Like Absolute Batman's going for like $300-400 on eBay right now.
Wow,
like
I think you made the right time to sell too, because I don't think.
Oh yeah, that's not going much higher.
Yeah,
I gathered all the Absolute books I had, and I kind of gave the comic shop a deal, but I was like, give me $500 for the box. Because like I know you're putting like Absolute Batman the first few issues. I know you get a few hundred for them alone. I was like, give me $500 for the box.
I'm gonna just go grab a drink. I'm still here. I can hear, but I won't be able to talk back.
Chat says Absolute Wonder Woman's still good. I'll probably hop in and out of those books. Like I might hop back into like I'm just like not committed to the line at this point. I was like interested in the Absolute Universe as a whole, and I no longer am. The one that broke my heart is Absolute Green Lantern because the lore in it is so fucking interesting and rad. And the main character fucking sucks. They went with that fucking black lesbian from Far Sector as the main character. And she sucks, man. Like everything about that book is great except for the main character. And it's just so hard to get it around.
Have you watched the new Lanterns trailer yet?
No, I don't want to. I have no interest in dad slop Green Lanterns. Like that's what it looks like to me. It looks like fucking Reacher dad slop bullshit, and I'm like, I don't know.
I think you should give the new trailer a look. It might change.
I'll probably check out the first episode at some point when it airs, just out of curiosity. But I certainly don't have any high hopes for it. Yeah. I'm not going to see the new Spider-Man either. Everyone seems to be excited about it. I don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I want to talk to you about that in just a minute, but I've got to go to microwave.
Yeah, I don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I don't want to go see a Spider-Man movie named after the worst fucking era of Spider-Man comics. Illustrator says, I have the first 6 issues of Absolute Batman. I'd love to sell them off. If they're in good shape, man, I mean, if you have the patience to do it on eBay, do it that way. If not, I mean, you could go into a comic book store and get a chunk of change for them.
And you should, because they're not going to go up in any value.
Yeah, they're not going up higher. Like they're not going to be worth $500, and unless the dollar is so worthless, we're paying $500 for a new fucking comic. They're not going to be worth that in 20 fucking years. This is going to be like the Ultimate Universe. In the 2000s, it's going to crater at some point. It might stick around for a while, but I mean, the hype will crater.
Yeah,
Like,
we are at the height. I've noticed that no one's really talking too much about Absolute anymore. You're not the first person I've heard say, yeah, I've kind of got bored of it. You know, so again, this is the peak of the Ultimate Universe.
I think Superman and Wonder Woman are the best from the beginning, were the best books of the line, and they never got the hype they deserve. Everyone was all about the Batman book, and it's like, it was never that fucking good. It really wasn't. It had its moments, but I mean,
so all of these people.
Absolute Flash is boring. Absolute Green Lantern can at least piss me off because the main character sucks. Absolute Flash, I will say that I felt nothing for. Absolute Martian Manhunter it was interesting. I almost don't even know how I feel about it because it was so off the fucking wall.
So Spider-Man Brand New Day, right? Spider-Man Brand New Day. They're saying that the story's been leaked and all this other shit. They're saying it's Clone Saga and it ends with Ben Reilly and all of this. I don't believe it. But what I'm hoping, right, is that remember how they framed the trailers as like, the spiders go through cycles of life and shit like that, the very first trailer?
Okay.
And then remember how we saw that thing come out, the invisible force, and it's like possessing people? I'm hoping that that's like Shathra or the spider spirit, and the black guy's Ezekiel. This is what I'm hoping. And I know it seems completely out of the blue and they wouldn't do it. They're not brave enough, I know. But I think this might be spider totem shit because we have the hand. And what's the hand all about? Resurrection and shit, right? And two, why is Hulk in it? He goes to Hulk, but what's Hulk's hidden ability that he has that like no one else has? He can see astral shit, and no one talks about that, right? So if there's an invisible fucking spirit that's zipping around, the only person that would be able to fight it is Hulk and Spidey, and that would be a good reason to put Hulk in the movie, right? So I'm wondering if this is like spider totem shit rather than the clone thing that everyone's saying it's going to be, because I don't believe the leaks. They're too fan fictiony. They don't read.
Chat saying give us Sadie Sink as Mary Jane. Yeah, and also chat saying I'm not going to pretend Zendaya is attractive. Zendaya is easily the worst part of those fucking movies. Because first of all, not only is she not attractive, not only is it ginger erasure, but she's also, I don't know, maybe the actress herself is the sweetest woman in the world. I don't know. I don't care. The character is annoying. So if you're going to have a love interest, and ideally she should be hot and very interesting, but this time she's neither. And, at the end of the last movie, it's like, well, we made her forget that Peter even existed. I was like, okay, cool. And now I'm seeing trailers and it's like, she's in this movie still. And I'm like, come on, you wrote her out. Get rid of her. We need Harvey Weinstein back, damn it.
No.
We didn't have to pretend. I don't care what he did at this point. I didn't have to pretend Zendaya was a sex symbol back when Harvey ran the show. Okay. So Deadpool has showed up in San Diego Comic-Con asking questions like he's a regular fan, asking if he can be in the movie. Now, he's wearing he's wearing gray jeans. He's wearing a costume made out of gray jean, because of Jean Grey. I saw that.
Now, it's a reference to Jean Grey. Everyone's going nuts over Jean Grey being in this fucking Spider-Man movie, and we haven't seen her. And I'm like, are people so like has the public been so fucking cucked and denied of pretty redheaded women that the idea of Jean Grey showing up has the entire internet going berserk like they're fucking Pepe Le Pew? You know what I mean? Because they haven't been allowed to have hot redheaded women.
The trailer that just sucked the life out of me watching it is Avengers Doomsday. I felt fucking depressed watching that trailer. I felt my soul ache watching that trailer. That looked so fake and such horseshit. It looked like a trailer somebody should be watching in a movie. Like characters in a show go to the movies, and this is what they watch. First of all, the effects look like shit. Utter shit. Okay? There's too much CGI in general, and the CGI has gotten worse in many cases, and our eyes have adjusted to it, and it looks like nothing now. It looks like a fucking cutscene in a video game, like I should press X. It's crap. Second of all, like, I fucking laughed when Shang-Chi starts fighting Gambit, okay? Because first of all, Gambit in that Wolverine and Deadpool is a fucking joke, okay? It was literally like Channing Tatum. Because remember, he was it was in the reject fucking purgatory of dead realities. And here's Channing Tatum doing the worst, goofiest Gambit impression, right? And we all laughed because it was in a Wolverine Deadpool movie. We were having fun, and Blade was back and cracking jokes. And they were making jokes about product placement with the Nissan and shit. We were having fun. It was a goofy bullshit movie. And then now he's like in the serious drama, and he's fighting Shang-Chi for some reason, as if anybody gives a fuck about Shang-Chi.
Do you know what? I think he's fighting
Nobody
Shang-Chi.
gives a he's
he's
got the 9 rings. Shang-Chi and the 9 cock rings is gonna fight Parody Gambit.
Rogue. Not Rogue, but Thieves Guild, Assassins Guild War. They need
not
someone
what
to...
it is. It's key jingling. I guarantee you that you're thinking there's some sort of thought put into it. No, it's bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. Okay, Shang-Chi and the 10 cock rings are fighting Parody, fucking epic movie Gambit over here. And I'm supposed to feel something about it.
Wait a minute. I'm getting a message from Gambit's lawyer here. He wants to make sure that you spelled epic with a K. Did you?
And you know what else? You know what else? This Doom is going to suck. I'm calling it now. I bet you it ain't even Doom. I bet you it's alternate reality Tony Stark. And that's why it's fucking, what's his face cast as him again. I guarantee you this isn't anything close to a real Doom. Okay.
Well, you know what's next? Secret Wars.
I don't like nothing. You know what's next? You know what's next? Me not going. That's what's next. Okay. Me staying home and I don't know, watching fucking anything else. Watching Ben Affleck's Daredevil instead. Because fuck this. Okay.
No, that's what's next. I got told yesterday on Frog Tony's stream that they had announced that the next movie after this batch of movies is Secret Wars, which will be coalescing all of the Marvel Universe into one coherent Marvel Universe, like it just point A, like it should have been from the start, You don't
have to do any of that. Like, why wouldn't you just start over? Here's the thing. You have a multiverse anyways. And we've always in comics understood that these actors are all like fucking 50 and 60 and we're still doing this. That's the other thing that's absurd. Imagine if in 1989 they were like, Adam West is back as Batman. And we'd be like, why? Why would you do that? It's a terrible fucking idea. Like, that version's done. It's had its moment. Okay, we're going to move on to a new version. It's like
a Family Guy skit, dude. It's like, the Dark Knight has returned. And it's like this grim 90s version. Sorry, grim 90s. They had like Tim Burton or like modern dark Batman, but it's Adam West.
Like, again, I like the fact that there are multiple versions of these characters. I like the fact that these are stories that get retold numerous times and characters that get reimagined in different ways. That's part of why I like the multiverse, because then in my head, all of them count. You know what I mean? They all exist somewhere in this fucking floating endless void. But like, I don't care about like fucking the dude from Sonic the Hedgehog is back as Cyclops. And it's like, he's like fucking 50. I don't care. And also, nostalgia aside, can we all like, look, dude, I was there opening night for X-Men. I saw it like fucking, I don't even like X-Men that much. And I saw it like fucking 15 times over the summer with multiple people. And I was like, yeah, fucking X-Men. Because it was just so amazing to see any fucking major Marvel property on screen at the time. But the movie kind of blows. Okay, like it hasn't aged well. X-Men 2 is all right. X-Men 3 is dog shit. And I guess like First Class and Days of Futures Past, I'll say they're all right. Logan's pretty good. The rest of them kind of fucking suck, if we're going to be honest here. They're kind of like dog shit movies. Okay. So it's like, wow, I get to see 90-year-old Patrick Stewart as fucking Professor X. It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want him to be Professor X anymore.
The chair just rolls around. He's like, first I ruined Picard. Now I will ruin Xavier.
Yeah, like, no. Like, dude, you should, no, enough.
Stop, Patrick. It's enough.
I'm not even saying I don't want more superhero stuff. I just don't want you to, like, beat this one particular strand of it to death endlessly. Like, I've said this for years. What if Marvel just let this rest for a year or two, and then they come back strong in a couple years with, like, really high-end produced TV shows? You do Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men, and Spider-Man, 4 cornerstones of the Marvel Universe, all running parallel, kind of standalone, but kind of interconnected. You know, again, high-end television, so you can really get into the depths of it. You know, you can build stories upon stories, not just one movie every couple of years.
I'm 100% on board. I'm 100% on board with you, but on the condition that we get remakes of the 1960s opening cartoon songs for the introductions. You know, like that's what I want to hear. A modern rendition of Doc Bruce Banner pelted by gamma rays turned into the whole. That's what I want.
I don't know about that, but the other
Come
thing
to the
about
table
that,
with me on this.
if you did this too, by the way, if you did what I'm saying, you don't have to. We don't have to have the first episode be Uncle Ben got shot. Who gives a shit? Okay, like you could literally recap that shit in the intro of the first fucking episode, and then he's been Spider-Man for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Avengers are already just a thing. The Fantastic Four are already just a thing that everybody knows and understands. That would be amazing. That would be something that people would love. Mm-hmm. But no, instead it's like, I want to see 65-year-old dude from Sonic the Hedgehog come out and be Cyclops again. And I want to see everything is fucking CGI. Spider-Man's butt fucking costume is CGI. I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes thing right now. Spider-Man's butt fucking costume is CGI.
What? Like his ass?
No, it was the movie's butt fucking. No, I'm talking about just his costume. He's wearing like a mocap. The actor is wearing a mocap suit. He's not wearing a costume.
Yeah. It's pretty sad.
Did you ever see that behind the scenes thing from the Secret Invasion show where Sam Jackson?
No, I didn't even watch the Secret Invasion show.
I didn't watch it either, but there's this one behind the scenes clip that got passed around. In the scene, Samuel L. Jackson is in a apartment or some sort of living room, sitting on a regular normal fucking chair, holding what appears to be like some normal fucking gun, some just normal fucking gun. I don't remember what kind. I'm not even a gun expert. Whatever. It looked like a real world fucking gun, right? That's what's going on in the scene. When you cut to what's actually on set, there is no apartment. There is no chair. And there's a handle of a gun in his hand. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what are you even fucking doing?
The money involved. You
can't make a set that looks like something I'd see in a sitcom? It's a gun. You could have just bought a real gun for cheaper. Just made sure there's no bullets in it so we don't fucking Alec Baldwin somebody and we'd be fine.
We don't want another repeat of The Crow here, you know?
Why even have the actor at this point? Why don't you just fucking animate the whole thing?
Careful, I just heard fucking, whoa. I just heard the ping of fucking Mickey's chastity belt going. You don't give him any more ideas. That's the next thing we'll have.
They're just going to AI the shit to where it just looks
Disney
like
started with cartoons, so let's return to that.
Oh, speaking of AI, there's a third Big Bang Theory spinoff, by the way. There's a third. The Big Bang Theory expanded fucking universe continues to grow.
Yeah. I think that
Stewart saves the universe. It's now sci-fi, and it's featuring the guy that runs a comic book store. Whatever. Here's the point, though. The intro is very obviously AI slop.
Yeah.
It's very, very obviously AI slop. And it's like, you can't do anything anymore. Like, what do you...
I don't think that it's happening. I think that he's dead. So
okay, well then
I
we
think
just
that- I
then
think-
he's in
I think that-
purgatory.
yeah, no, I think that he's like I think that he's like in the hospital bed or some shit like that, and he's dying. And these are his like last memory hallucination bullshit. I don't think it's.
I don't
think
care,
it's-
man. It's like I hope it's aliens that come down and kill everybody. Like I hope it's for real. I hope all of it's for real. Like good God, man. There's like fucking 3 spin-off shows in this
I thought
now.
you were a fan of the multiverse theory. I thought that if they just brought multiverse into Big Bang,
No,
Theory,
I'm fine with it. To be honest with you, I'm fine with it. In principle, I'm fine with it. The reason I shake my head is because we don't need a third fucking spin-off for the Big Bang Theory. I'm sorry to tell you.
I think it's like the 4th for what it's worth, but yeah.
I don't, I never even.
Yeah, it's the
hated-
4th. It's
I never
yeah,
hated the Big Bang Theory as much as a lot of other people. I could see why people did. I think it really had moments. I think Johnny Galecki and Jim Parsons are tremendous comedic actors, and they often elevated the material. The reality, though, is that Big Bang Theory might have started off as something intended to be for geeks. It eventually became for boomers that knew geeks. Like that's eventually what it turned into. And then that's why the spin-off shows are just boomer fucking sitcom schlock.
No,
It's
man,
like
I
Young
love
Sheldon
it.
and
Dude,
Georgie and Mandy and all.
I love the spin-off, man. I love the spin-offs. I like my I know it's just because my eldest daughter, who's like 16, likes Young Sheldon, so like we watched it reluctantly, and I actually really got into it. I like Sheldon sucks, but like I liked Georgie and shit, and I liked when they got a spin-off, and I actually like the Georgie Mandy spin-off because like as you watch it, it's like wow, like everyone is shit. You know what I mean? Like poor
I
Georgie.
like Sheldon in the Big Bang Theory. I don't like him in Young Sheldon, from what I've seen. I like him in the Big Bang Theory because I like characters that annoy other people in the show.
Mhm.
Like, there's a difference to me between you're annoying me and you're annoying other characters. Like, I always thought Neelix in Star Trek Voyager was funny because he just used to just torment Tuvok, and that just made me laugh. And he didn't know he was doing it. He thought he was being nice to Tuvok, and he was just the bane of Tuvok's existence. And to me, that's funny. There's a difference between that and you're annoying me. And it's even a hard thing to describe, but it just hits different sometimes. That said, though, the character that sucked in Big Bang Theory is the fucking Indian dude.
Yeah.
He's also the character with no fucking arc.
Yeah.
He is the same annoying, obnoxious sex pest he was in episode 1.
You know, he does have a little bit of an arc. He does find out.
I guess.
You
Just
can learn to
the
talk to
gravity of
girls.
the other character's growth might have pushed him forward a bit. But
Yeah,
if anything, I think Chuck Lorre is woke on the Indian question. I think Chuck Lorre was trying to tell us something. It's like, look, this guy that's only there as a diversity
dude, in the
hire,
first episode of this,
he's just a smelly sex pest.
in the first episode of this new spin-off show, Stuart finds him. He's a big smelly sex pest with a giant beard. He's the only one left alive. He tries to explain to them what they need to do and how the whole premise of the alternate reality and everything, how they've got to fix it to get the universe back to normal, because they're in an alternate timeline now created by the splintering of a machine that was built by Sheldon and the other guys in the other reality. And they've got to reset the universal clock.
Yeah,
to
but
like
if they're in an alternate timeline, then the other timeline should just still exist.
Yeah, it does. They're trying to get back to it. It's all scrambled,
Okay.
but they're locked out of it and stuff. And so, like, but anyway, so
Dude should go find a reality where he gets some bitches.
he gets shot dead. They shoot him dead. They shoot him fucking dead, man. Like,
Okay.
in the first episode, Raj is just murdered in cold blood.
Well, that's awesome. That's fucking
Yeah,
5
I
stars.
thought,
right
holy
there.
shit. It's like he's been pissing in a bucket. He's been locked in a lab pissing in a bucket for 5 years.
Normally, I gotta go on X to watch videos of Indians dying,
Oh, gosh. It's horrible.
just standing in front of trains.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm kidding. I've seen enough videos of Indians just wandering aimlessly into just obvious danger and getting themselves killed on X that I now think India is just God playing a game of lemmings,
Well, they're
and he's
respawning.
not very good.
They're respawning because, like, they got a bad RNG roll on this life, and they believe that they can just reincarnate.
I honestly think that might be a reason they're just so cavalier about just walking in front of train.
It is. Like, it is. Like, I'm not making a joke. It is. That's their belief. They believe in reincarnation. So it's like, oh, well, this life is shit. Start again.
I guess if I thought I was getting another role, I wouldn't want to be an Indian.
Yeah. Like, if you're sitting there going, man, I've got to
roll those dice again.
If you're sitting there going, I tried to be really nice to people, I tried to be a good person, but I'm surrounded by shit people. I've become a heroin addict. I've spent all my savings. I got nothing better to do. My girlfriend just left me. Fuck it. Maybe next time I'll get a blonde. And, start over.
Speaking of terrible people dying, we had Lindsey Graham's funeral. I guess that was today. Maybe it was yesterday.
I don't think I know who that is.
Lindsey Graham was a senator here in the United States who was a huge warpig neocon and also a giant closet case, and he died recently. I guess from a blown out asshole. I'm not sure entirely.
Oh wow, savage.
But I was watching clips of the funeral, and Hannity is going on, and he's like, Benjamin Netanyahu's here, and boy, Israel was such a great friend of Israel, and I'm a great friend of Israel, and everybody loves fucking Israel. And I'm like, they don't even pretend to love America anymore. They don't even fucking pretend. I remember the 2000s George W. Bush war on terror propaganda, and while I never fell for it, I could see why people would. It was all rah, 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 Toby Keith, America, fuck yeah. And it's like, I could see why you'd fall for that, but it's like, it's not even that anymore. It's just naked subservience to a foreign country at this point. And I'm like, who is, maybe evangelicals that are convinced that Left Behind is one of the books of the Bible. Other than that, who is falling for this?
Getting back to fucking young Sheldon for a second, since you mentioned
Getting back to the important stuff.
Well, no, I thought that, like, that's one of the things I thought you'd enjoy young Sheldon for, because, like, we get to watch his mother, right, throughout the course of things. And she starts out as like a church mom from the 90s. We sort of know what that is. But then, like, when her husband dies, and as she goes further and further through the series, his mother becomes like the radical example of like cancel the Simpsons mom. And I think it's really interesting to have like a TV depiction of a mother from the 90s who was that, that like the Simpsons are a plague, like we've got to censor everything. We've got to control everything, like massive control freaks. And like, she's still the mother and still loves her family, but she ends up fucking her whole family up. She's like super controlling, and it's interesting to watch the whole thing sort of play out. And it is a sitcom, just a silly sitcom, but you sort of go through beginning to end, and the way she deals with losing her husband and shit and everything. It's just interesting to watch her breakdown and how she ends up being one of those people where, like, instead of her faith being like celebratory of the Lord, her faith is more of a system of control for other people to make up for the sort of the insecurities and damage in her own life. And that's a really interesting Christian stereotype to see, even though it is a negative one. It's not often
pretty true. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah.
You'll hear Christians complain about like the stereotypes of them in media. And I mean, I am a Christian, but it's like a lot of you are those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of you are the guy for like a lot of you are like the guy from Footloose. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like a lot of you are that. You can even see this now in like, because they don't have power at all, but every once in a while, if you really pay attention to some of the far right, you see this still where it's like, yeah, and we need blasphemy laws back and all this other shit. And it's like,
it's interesting it's just interesting.
I believe in free speech, but we should ban porn. Okay, that's awesome. I'm sure that wouldn't backfire terribly too.
I don't think that porn really has any sort of legs anymore. I mean, it's all over the internet for free. Everyone can get it. Kids are exposed to it younger and younger. It's just part of society. Can't do anything about it.
Stop giving your kids internet access. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not even like the old. I remember the old internet of like the late 90s, early 2000s, where like there were just aggressive pop-ups. You could be minding your own business and porn just shows up. Yeah. Like it really was that in like the AOL fucking days. But it ain't now. If you're looking at porn, it's because everything is so sanitized in most of the internet. Like in most of the internet, they bleep out words like kill and murder and suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the internet is pretty fucking sanitized. So if you're watching, just hypothetically, if you were watching Janet Mason lick Alice Green's asshole, just as a random example, it's because you looked for that, okay?
Why would
it's
anyone
because
want to someone else?
It's because you looked for that. Just as a random example. I don't know if such a thing even exists. I just pulled that out of thin air. But just, you looked for it.
Yeah.
Like, and when people are like, oh, my kid found parts, well, then why are we letting your kid on the internet uncensored? First of all, kids shouldn't be on the internet, period. Because A, they shit up the place, and B, it's just bad for them. Even the porn issue aside, it's bad for them. Okay? It fucks up their attention span. You know, next thing you know, they're looking at Mr. Beast, who's obviously looks like a pedophile, and they're thinking he's a fucking hero. Like, I didn't say he was. I said he looks like one. I said he looks like one. I said if I was making a show and I wanted to cast a pedophile, like a pedophile character, I would call up Mr. Beast's agent. That's all I'm saying.
Savage. That's mean.
That's not defamation. That's me. Just if I was casting the next episode of Law and Order.
So let me have a cry. Let me have a cry to you for a minute, right? So sometimes, to whether I want it or not, my Elle will come over and like she'll come on with me, right? She'll like, you know, talk about chickens or hug me or climb on my head annoyingly, whatever it is. That sort of happens. But like as a rule, she's not allowed to be on the internet, right? Like she doesn't watch YouTube or any of this stuff. And she's 4 now, and I'm not lying when I say like I'm the oldest parent out in this area. All of the other parents are like in their 20s and 30s, and all their kids have been electronic tablet kids since my daughter was about 2, I would say. They're just all put on the parents just give them their phones or their tablets, and that's what the kids do. And it's like my Elle, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm not being like a braggadocious parent, but my Elle is top of her class, outdoing everyone. She has an attention span, and the other kids don't. They just want to sit there and stare at tablets. And if you take the tablets off them, they throw a massive fucking tantrum. And it's just like, I can tell that this isn't good. And then I get every day, I get people lecturing me about what a bad fucking parent I am and how terrible it is that Elle comes up and hugs me while I'm drawing or something, right? And it's like, fuck. Like, she's not on a phone. I don't just slap her on a fucking tablet and sit her in a corner. She's like, you know, in my life. You know what I mean? It just, I don't like, and all the other modern parents that are around here, and I'm not shitting on them either, but like, that's what they do. They just, and the stuff that they've got for children's entertainment now, like instead of what we had growing up, dude, it's literally brainwashing fucking slop. Like Cocomelon and shit, it's like, it's fucking lunatic legion shit. It's just fucking made to just.
Oh, yeah. There's no way in hell I would let my kid watch the majority of like what's on YouTube Kids or shit like that. There's no way in hell I'd let him like. It's actually worse than like parents who are like in our day. It was like, oh, there's dirty jokes and Ren and Stimpy and shit like that. But it's actually worse because it's like filling the head with bad messages is one thing, but like turning a kid's head into a fucking void is another.
Yeah, taking away their ability to pay attention to things, to have judgment.
Yeah, I'd rather raise a kid that turned out bad than one that turned out as a fucking zombie.
Illustrates fucking hilarious tonight, dude. Look, Mr. Beast with 2 backs. Like, what a fucking. That's his second winner tonight.
Dude, I'm sorry. Every time I see a picture of that guy, I'm like, that guy is probably a psychopath.
But yeah,
and maybe I'm wrong. It's just looking at a picture, I'm like, yeah, I would just not let my kid watch this guy. Just on a way. I remember when I was a kid, my dad would not let me watch Pee Wee Herman. Now, I didn't want to watch Pee Wee Herman because it looked stupid.
Well, that's because like you're looking at him in the theaters and shit, and he keep going to those local theaters with you, and he's like, "Don't look."
But like, he'd see it on TV, and he'd just be like, "I don't want you watching that." Because my dad's old boomer ass, he's like, "That looks like a pedophile." He didn't say that to me, but I looking back, I'm like, "That's what he was thinking." I'm like, "I don't want you watching the Mr. Diddle show.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's thinking. And like I'm like, okay. And it wasn't. I didn't particularly like it anyway. So it's like, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'd rather is Ninja Turtles on. I'd rather watch that. Like, Chad says a Zoomer coworker is amazed at how much I know. So or how I know so much. 8. I just answered. I learned them. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Zoomers are. I worked about 2-3 years ago. I worked with a couple of Zoomers. It was literally a couple, but I remember just I got close to the guy kind of, and I'd tell him like stories from like my youth. You know what I mean? Just bullshitting. Yeah. You know, just sharing fucking tales and shit, and I'd be like, yeah, you know, I did this, I did that. It was, and he'd look at me like I'm just like, no, you didn't really do that. I'm like, nah, bro, we all did shit like that.
Yeah, we just did shit back in the day. Like to this day, you got people coping and freaking the fuck out, and they can't believe.
And he'd tell me like, you know, because he had gone to school, like I think he graduated either right around COVID or right before, or something like that. But he'd tell me stories about like how the school is just constant lockdown and shit like this, and everywhere you went was monitored all the time. And then I'm thinking like, when I was in high school, my girlfriend and I snuck off to one of the fucking bathrooms and fucked one afternoon. Yeah. Like we went off to the corner of the school that there wasn't a lot going on, and we just did a quick nooner. And it's like, now that was wild, stupid shit that we shouldn't have done. Don't get me wrong. We'd have probably been. It was a very conservative school district. We'd have both been just fucking expelled. I'm not saying do that. No, I'm just like, there's just an example of like some like goofy wild shit I did, and it's like I wasn't even that wild of a kid. I never touched drugs or alcohol as a teenager. None of that. So it's like they were fucking crazier kids and all. But like, I'd tell them stories of this and they'd just be like, what are you? No, you're making that up. Or I'd be like, yeah, you know, my girlfriend and I and her little blonde friend one time when I was a teenager, a couple of times. And he'd be like, nah. And I'm like, yeah, it was the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know what it was right before 9/11. Everything was a party. Like,
I mean, it's like these people don't have lives, and it's like, I don't know, it's rough. It's like it's really rough, especially like, you know, I'm looking at a lot of these younger kids and stuff that are else like friends and peers, and a few of them are good, but it's a bit rough when I like the ones that are good are like a bunch of farmers here married a bunch of Asians, and so like you got a bunch of tiger moms, right? Because they're like old rich farmer guys, and they just work.
Yeah, but that's almost like a helicopter parenting that almost like goes in the opposite direction. I mean,
yeah. But at least like they're
kids need like alone time where they just kind of like are bored and they have to like entertain themselves, or they're alone with each other and they have to work out social dynamics without an adult playing referee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids need that.
I agree. I 100% agree with you.
You know something else I think kids will never that they're not likely to ever get. I was thinking there was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon called Goober and the Ghost Chasers, right? And it was 100% a Scooby-Doo ripoff. It was even a talking dog. And there were so many Scooby-Doo ripoffs at Hanna-Barbera alone, but this one was so blatant. And I remember as a kid stumbling across it on TV somewhere. And I was fascinated by it because it was so obviously a Scooby-Doo ripoff. And I could tell it was made by the same people. Like I recognized company logos and shit, you know, that it was like, is this like a spinoff? Are they like, is this Scooby-Doo's cousin or something? You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand it. And it was dog shit, by the way. Even as a kid, I'm like, this cartoon sucks. But I was fascinated by its mere existence. And then I thought, like, I feel like kids don't get the, like, old stuff was ever present when we were a kid. You know what I mean? Like you watched Looney Tunes, even though there were shorts from the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Yep.
You watched old Disney movies from the 30s and 40s and 50s. Yep. You know what I mean? They were just ever present. Like you probably don't remember the first time you watched Alice in Wonderland. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You just remember it just being this thing that was just part of the fucking fabric of the culture around you. And I just wonder if kids like. And this started with the late millennials, even. It started with almost like the born after 93 crowd, where I talk to people who've been 10 years younger than me, and they have no concept of things before their time. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be like a Sonic the Hedgehog fan that never played the Genesis games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There'll literally be shit like that. Or like when I was doing a stream back when the first of these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies came on, the one with Vulture as the villain, Michael Keaton in it. He didn't know, he was like a huge superhero fan. This kid that called in, and I say kid, like teenager, 16, 17. He didn't know that Michael Keaton had played Batman. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I thought back and I'm like, well, I knew it was decades before I was born, but I knew, Adam West had played Batman. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I had seen those shows. I had seen these things. And it's almost partly because of streaming, partly because they've been on the internet, partly because I think they don't have as strong relationships with older cousins or older brothers or their dads.
Well, what's
But
their
they
like,
haven't
what is
seen, they have no concept of shit before their time. Like we
yeah, I mean, like, well, what is their cultural? Like, I'm not being like a hater to Zoom. If there's any Zoomers out there, I'm sorry, but it's like, what's their cultural touchstone? Like Fortnite? Like,
well,
that's
yeah,
like-
a lot of their culture is fucking gay.
like, and I'm not trying to shit on them or anything like that, but it's like, when I think of like the younger generation, I think of like creepypasta, SCP, and like Call of Duty. But even that stuff, which is sort of like, that Five Nights at Freddy's generation, even that's the old generation. You know what I mean? So there's a
Oh yeah,
generation.
that's the younger millennials, older Zoomers at this point. It's certainly not.
Yeah,
Gen
yeah. So like the Zoomers, I don't know anything about them at all. I don't know anything about them at all. Like I'm not like we were at the play group, and one of the mothers was talking about Pokemon and all of this other stuff, and going on and on and on about it. And I was just sitting there quietly by the bubbler listening as I do, and I realized she's talking about the Pokemon game from her childhood, and they're all excited about. The other parents are all like excited about this Pokemon game. It was Generation 5. They were talking about Generation 5 Pokemon, and like that was what they had from being a baby. And I'm just like going like, oh shit, like I'm an old man. I don't think they realize how old.
Well, yeah, there's part of that. I mean, but
yeah,
I'm just saying, when I was a kid, there was the older stuff, and I just wonder if like, does this Gen Alpha, like, I don't know, if he gets into something that actually has a history, not fucking K-pop demon hunter gay ass shit, but like if he's like, oh, I got into Godzilla, would they go back and watch the older shit? Like I used to rent old movies. For fuck's sake, when I was like 12, I went through a phase where I was just like hyper fixated on old 70s blaxploitation movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even know why. I stumbled across one on TV and I thought it was cool, and I just rented a bunch for a few weeks and just fucking infused this weird moment of time before my time into my psyche. And I don't know why that happened, but it's like, does it happen to kids anymore? Do they do that shit anymore?
No,
I honestly wonder. Like I stumbled across the old MC Hammer cartoon on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you may remember, that lasted like a season and it was dog shit. But I just remembered thinking, like, what if a Gen Alpha kid stumbles across this? You know what I mean? Like maybe they heard an MC Hammer song in a fucking TikTok and they somehow found this bizarre relic from 1990 and were just weirdly fascinated, like I was with Goober and the Ghost Chasers. You know what I mean? Where it's like, what is this atrocious piece of shit? Like, but I don't know if that's even a thing anymore. I mean,
nah, they would not watch it. They would look at it. They would get 30 seconds into it and click away.
Yeah, part of it's just a lack of attention span. I mean, I used to plow
like,
through shit that was.
But
I would watch shows that I didn't like because I was waiting for another show. Like that's how things were.
If it popped up in like a YouTube short that was like the 12 most fascinating things about MC Hammer, they would watch that, But
I mean, at least that would be somewhat educational about like just shit. You just would know interesting factoids at that point.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like we're getting older, we're getting the grays and life's moving on, and
I guess I just wonder where it's moving to.
I don't know, man. I've got a daughter, and I wonder often. Like I'll sit there, like I said, I'll watch the other parents with their kids. I'll watch. We once walked into a room. We were invited over to a parent's house, a mutual friend of ours, and we walked in, and the parents are like sitting in the living room having coffee and stuff, at a little table, and there's no kids. I'm like, where are the kids? And they go, oh, they're just in the bedroom. And I walk into the fucking bedroom with Elle, and I look in there, and there's 6 kids there, and they're on tablets, sitting there staring at them, and like on phones and tablets, like children of the fucking corn, man. They're all just silent, just sitting in silence, staring at these fucking tablets and
look,
stuff.
I know that, like, you know, I could sound like my dad, who's like, oh, my son's playing that Game Boy too much. But it's like those were games that had beginning, middles, and ends. You know what I mean? It wasn't an endless Skinner box of online microtransactions. You know
they watch shorts. They watch shorts.
I wasn't just watching endless shorts. I was watching shows. You know, and movies.
It'd be one thing if they're playing video games. Even they're not even playing video games. Like that's the thing that's like, you know, it's like.
Or if they are, it's just Skinner box mobile shit. Which is, by the way, what console games are moving towards now.
What's that? Like,
just Skinner box mobile shit, where it's just endless. It's an endless loop. It's endless microtransactions. It's an endless gameplay loop. That's like, think of how many games now are designed to just keep you playing forever and not just be a game you play through. Like Fortnite isn't a game. It's a fucking. It's just something designed to keep you sitting there all the time. Yeah. Like it's not actually a video game like we knew them. And that's the same of all these live service shit. It's just it's designed to just be an endless treadmill. Like, keep you busy. Chat says I will give a slight. Or what Wolfland says I will give a slight white pill. TikTok fads has made trends of some old music, but I don't know the impact. I will say this because I will occasionally doom scroll a few shorts or reels before bed. I will say this: I'm amazed, and those are almost all recycled from TikTok. But I'm amazed at how many old, like, 90s and shit songs from my age. Like, these kids have discovered Sir Mix-a-Lot songs I didn't know. Like, they've introduced me to some Sir Mix-a-Lot songs. So I do appreciate that a little bit. Chat says, I saw a lady in the grocery store with a toddler on an iPad and I wanted to slap her. Yeah, kids need to be bored, too. Like, you need to understand boredom. Like, boredom is where creativity comes from. Boredom is where imagination comes from. Boredom. I've tried
to explain that. Like I've tried to explain that to like my cousins because I was like, they like never let their kids be bored. I'm like, you got to let your kids be bored.
Even just like giving them toys, but like with toys, like you know, if you have a couple of fucking action figures, you're still entertaining yourself with them. You know what I mean? You're not being passively entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with some of that. Like, yeah, I watched a lot of TV as a kid. I watched a lot of movies. I played my fucking Nintendo and my Sega Genesis and shit. Like, there's nothing wrong with those things. They just can't be all of it.
Yeah.
It can't just be an endless fucking slop farm, like, shoveled into your gullet.
I just, you know, I don't know. It's just, like you said, I don't know what the future holds with this generation. Like, because these are the guys that are going to be ruling the world while we're young. It's like, fortunately, my Elle like loves the real Ghostbusters. She loves He-Man. She loves She-Ra. This is all stuff that like I was worried. I didn't want to be the bad dad and like force all of the stuff that I like onto my daughter like a dickhead. You know what I mean? But like, she loves it. She just sorted it all out herself, which was such like a warm feeling in my heart. But like, she'll go and watch DuckTales and all the stuff that I've built up. I've got this giant library of nerd stuff, and she watches it. But like, well,
you don't want to force kids, but you do want to introduce them to stuff. And I will say, like my best friend, like he has 2 kids. He has I think 12-year-old and a 3-year-old, and he's got another on the way. Poor bastard. But like those kids, he just recently had them watching like He-Man on demand, like the new movie, and they fucking adored it. And like now they're watching like the 80s cartoon and the 2002 cartoon and shit. Like just over and over again. Like when the Mario movie came out, they fucking loved it and they were watching the old Mario show.
Yeah.
So you do want to expose them to stuff. And I will say another thing that I remember that stuck with me. And if I did have a son, I'd do this. I remember when I was about 12. You know, that's right when like, you know, your balls have dropped, you got hair on your nuts now. You're not a kid anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like Mother Nature's decided you're basically a man at that point. Maybe mentally you're not, but
paying as much attention to you.
You know, 1,000 years ago, we'd have handed you a sword and told you, you know, go out in the battle. Like it you know, So my dad's like, look, you're not a kid anymore. You're becoming a man. He goes, I think you're ready for certain things. And he showed me just a bunch of these like R-rated comedies from like the 70s into the early 80s and shit like that. Stuff like cool. Caddyshack, Animal House, Fast Times at Richmond High, Kentucky Fried Movie, just those kind of things where it's just all these raunchy fucking R-rated sex comedies and shit like that. Where it's like, yeah, now you're old enough for this shit. Here, watch this stuff. And it was fucking amazing. And I remember showing some of these to like my friends that hadn't even heard of them. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they were like forbidden. They were like these forbidden movies. I remember Porky's. I remember finding Porky's on like an old VHS tape. Like, what the fuck is this? And then like showing all my friends who were like 12 and 13 and shit. Like, we're all laughing our asses off. It was good.
Yeah, and that to me was almost like a rite of passage, which I don't think we quite have really any much of any in the West anymore.
Yeah, it's so fucking tame. But oh, dude, Terminator 2. Oh, sorry, I'll let you go.
Yeah. I watched a ton of shit. My God, I think I watched Total Recall in the theater with my dad when I was 7. Mm-hmm. Like I watched violent shit all the time. But you know what? I don't think there's that. I think people really overestimate how bad violence is for kids. It's one thing when you're getting into like the real horror movie gore levels where it's like the kid's going to have trouble sleeping. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But just like, first of all, I think that violence should be rougher in movies. I think it's actually worse to show violence in a movie that has no consequences. That's like that's weightless and bloodless and shit. A lot of the current superhero movies are guilty of that, where it's just like everybody's beating the shit out of each other, but nobody's hurt at all.
People are like floating across the room and smashing into walls and getting back up and throwing kicks.
It's like, I get it, they have superpowers, but like, yeah, Superman's super strong, but if General Zod punches him in the nose, he's going to have a bloody nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he just is. It's like Spider-Man and Green Goblin at the end of the first Spider-Man movie, where it's like they're all broken and bloodied and the fucking mask is half torn off. And, you know what I mean? It's like, that is how it should look. Violence should have consequences. I think it's worse to show like weightless, bloodless violence and almost goofy slap. Like, in a way, Home Alone is worse to show a kid than a movie where dudes are getting shot.
Yeah, they're more likely to get hurt over that because they're going to try.
Because like Home Alone treats like all this violence happening to these burglars like it's a Looney Tunes cartoon, and it's a little different when it is a cartoon because it's further disconnected from reality. But you're showing real actors that are getting like electrocuted and then they turn into a skeleton for a second and then they're fine. It's like, no, actually he's dead now. You know what I mean? Like, or if he's not dead now, he's gonna cough up blood in 4 hours and be dead. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's not surviving like half of this shit. Okay, like
he lived, but he lived, but his prostate never worked again.
Yeah, he just every time somebody turns on the microwave now, he shits his pants because he has a metal plate in his head. Like you watching Home Alone, it's like, oh wow, that man never walked again. Like,
where was it? Was Wolf mentioned Terminator 2 and RoboCop, right? Talking of Terminator 2. When we get off the stream, before you go to bed, go to my Twitter, right? And right before I came in, I retweeted Terminator 2 practical effects of the fucking... it's this amazing little short that someone shared showing all of the puppeteering and shit behind the... was it T-2000? You know, the liquid metal Terminator? Mm-hmm. And how they did all of that with the practical effects. It's cool as shit, dude.
There's a scene in Backrooms that somebody was sharing on Twitter, and it's just, I mean, the set's kind of cool looking, I guess, because it's like this. It cuts into this room where like you look down and there's just endless floors going down into oblivion. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a cool set piece, but it's like the person sharing it was like, I just can't imagine how they filmed this. And I'm like, you just never seen any movies. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the other thing where like CGI, like Terminator 2, that scene where like the liquid metal guy's driving a truck, he comes crashing through like the fucking side of the road into the ravine, right?
Yeah.
They crashed a truck through the concrete into a ravine.
Yeah.
They did that. And not only that, but like the guys down there that were trying to like get like footage of it, they were like, dude, this seems unsafe. And James Cameron's like, y'all are pussies. And he just grabbed the camera and did it. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I'll get the shot then. You can suck my dick. We're going to do this. You know what I mean?
James Cameron's awesome.
And it's like, yeah, you compare that now to this like endless CGI where it's like these actors aren't even in the same fucking room. There was a coming back to Avengers Doomsday, they were interviewing the Nightcrawler guy, Alan Rickman, I want to say was no, not Alan Rickman. Alan Cummings is the guy that played Nightcrawler, who was good 20 fucking years ago. I don't know if we need him back. I don't know if I need middle-aged Nightcrawler.
Look, he's been practicing as Nightcrawler for 20 years.
I want to watch Nightcrawler movie. He's popping Tums all the time because he has an ulcer. Like, fuck off, man. But anyways, he's talking about like, yeah, you're always doing a dialogue in the scene, and I'll be damned if I knew what character I was talking to.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's like, you probably don't get good acting out of people like that. And also like, because you know what? The writer probably didn't know what character he was talking to. They were like, we'll put somebody in there later. Fuck it. Shang-Chi will fight Gambit. Who cares? We got to bring the Chinese guy back because we had.
Now I want you guys.
I
want you guys to interrupt your. I want you guys to interrupt your heated argument. I want you to look skyward, and what you're seeing is Shang-Chi fly through the sky, fighting Gambit in the background. He's watching pass from over to here, and then the Hulk jumps from point A to point B. All right, just look as if you can see it. Follow the red ball, or the blue ball. Thank you.
Follow the green ball. We're gonna throw a tennis ball across the fucking sky and pretend that's the Human Torch or somebody else that can fly. Who cares?
Now this is the Human Torch. This is the most powerful and spectacular thing. Imagine the heat coming off his body, and go. Oh,
imagine you're in the same room as the other actors. Couldn't we just do that?
No, each of you have your own room.
And then, like, I contrast that to, like, I'm looking at some behind-the-scenes shit from He-Man, and it's like, there's a lot of CGI, but, like, there's a lot of sets. You know what I mean? Cool. Like, there's a lot of makeup. There's a lot of people in actual costumes. Like, the only CGI that was on Skeletor was his face. And it's like, okay, fair enough. Because it's either that or goofy mask like the 87 movie. Fine. I'm not seeing CGI didn't have its place. But, like, you want to make a movie that looks good, you do a good mix of practical effects and CGI. That's why Jurassic Park still holds up 33 fucking years later.
I don't understand, man, why it is, honest to God, that the cosplayers can do the shit they do. I was looking at someone walking around when I went to the last Comic-Con, right? They were walking around as a Black Templar. This big 7, like, fucking foot tall Space Marine looked like he was made out of metal. Fucking just looked like a real life Space Marine. Why can we do that? Why can we have cosplayers do these super realistic, cool looking cosplays, but Hollywood with $1 million budgets need to do it all with robots and AI? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, why can't we just?
The one con I was at one time, I was a vendor. This guy comes by in a Spider-Man costume, regular, classic-looking Spider-Man costume, like he had just leapt off the page from 1993. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Glass eyes in the fucking goggles, and the rest of it was fucking spandex, right? Mm-hmm. And now, first of all, he's in good enough shape to pull that off. With my fat ass, sure isn't. Okay, I look like Earth X Spider-Man. Okay, I look fucking sad, pathetic, past his prime Spider-Man. Nobody wants that. I can cosplay as Earth X Spider-Man, but nobody wants that. I'm just sitting there mad at my daughter, like, you have the Venom symbiote, and I think that's the reason we don't get along anymore. Like, anyways, he's walking around as fucking Spider-Man. He just looks like fucking Spider-Man. And he's got his backpack and shit. And then I see a little later somebody walking around black costume, right? Again, just as flawless. Turns out it's the same guy. A little later, he's walking around like Ben Reilly. He's got Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Got the fucking like web shooters on the outside, whole 9 yards. A little later, he's got like fucking House of M costume. You know what I mean?
Wow.
A little later, he's got he did Spider-Man 2099, and he had the like Batman like things coming out the back of his forearm. You know, the like little fucking claws on his fingers and shit.
Wow.
And I think he did like 3 or 4 more of them that I don't even remember. You know what I mean? Like he did like there were like 6 or 7 of them. He just was changing in and out of throughout the fucking con. And they all looked amazing. And they looked better than I've seen any fucking Spider-Man costume look in a movie.
Yeah. Well, how is that? Like,
Because first of all, he wasn't afraid of just making a Spider-Man costume. I love the Sam Raimi movies. Why the fuck is Toby's costume look like that? Why is there like weird raised metallic webbing over the red parts and shit? Like, he threw that together. Like, I can suspend my disbelief that he can make a regular costume out of spandex, which in itself is not a common skill, but fine. But no, he's got space age fabric or some horseshit. What are we even doing here?
Yeah. The weird hexagons on everything. Like, where is that?
Why everything is over designed in, every superhero costume they can't help but make it over designed. And it's like sometimes I don't want like fucking panels and armor looking shit. Like Spider-Man should just look like he's wearing a fucking spandex outfit.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's all I want because he's Spider-Man. He doesn't need armor. He's fucking Spider-Man.
Oh, here's the thing. Get a fucking world-class gymnast. Put him in a Spider-Man costume. Dub over the actor's voice.
Yeah, it's a full body costume. You don't need to. I know the Raimi movies were obsessed with taking the mask off all the fucking time. You don't need to do that.
No, you.
But yeah, that's the point. I've seen shit at cons just blow. You know, I've seen chicks walking around dressed like Vampirella, and I'm like, good God, man! Like, if I was a Hollywood producer, I'd just be like, sweetie, I'm gonna get the Vampirella rights, and we're gonna make something happen.
Yeah.
Like I would, if I had Vampirella rights, I would go back to like originally it was an anthology comic. Like she was kind of like it was like a Tales from the Crypt comic, and she was the host. I would do imagine a Tales from the Crypt show with a super hot chick dressed like Vampirella hosting it.
Yeah, it'd be like the modern what's her name? Elvira. It'd be like a modern Elvira show.
Yeah, that's basically Elvira. Basically, was just Vampirella with puns.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen chicks dressed like Witchblade. Now, I know like a lot of times the people that made the costumes hired a model or something. I get that. That happened. But who cares, man? I see stuff going on at cons where I'm like, this just blows me away. You know, and this blows Hollywood out of the water.
And I don't understand, like, why we haven't gotten that. You know, like, when we got that very first X-Men movie and everyone came out in the black leather, I just thought, why? Like, why? Why is everyone ashamed to just make what we... Like, look at how long we had to wait to get a blue and yellow fucking Wolverine. You know what I mean? And the blue and yellow Wolverine showed up in, what, a Deadpool movie? Right?
Yeah.
It's like we're in 2025 or whatever it is, and it's like Wolverine's been around since like the 1970s. It's like the 1960s, 1970s.
I'm still amazed at the choices these companies make with these movies, like the Flash movie. It's like, wow, is this going to be a movie about the Flash fighting one or more of his iconic villains? No, it's going to be like Flashpoint, but worse.
Yeah. Oh, okay, dude. I want to talk to you about this. So again, I was on Frog Tony show yesterday, and we had a big comic talk. It's really good, and everyone right now, I don't know if you've seen on social media, they're all jizzing about Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's back. Ghost Rider, new Ghost Rider movie. And so I just sort of cracked through and went through Ghost Rider's Rogues Gallery live with them, and they all suck, man. He's got like no one good. He's got like the...
No, he's got some decent... Well, let me put it this way. Danny Ketch has some decent villains.
Yeah, like who? Like who?
Okay.
Because his Rogues Gallery... Like
Lilith is awesome. I could
sorry?
do amazing things with Lilith in a movie. I could do amazing things with Blackheart in a movie.
Yeah, Blackheart, yeah. He was number
Mephisto, obviously, I could do amazing things with. I mean, you're just doing devil shit.
Yep. There's Witch
I
Woman.
could probably do something cool with Scarecrow, but it would probably be seen as derivative because that character.
That's what I said. The exact same thing. Scarecrow would end up being derivative. Yep.
I'm trying to think of like who I would stick in a movie because there's a lot of characters where it's like they're good. This is again why I wish we were doing shows because there's a lot of cool shit going on in Ghost Rider, but it's like constantly trying to concentrate everything down into yet another 90-minute movie when it's like so many of these things should be like a subplot running through a whole season of a show.
Well, we can't.
Like, I'd love a Spider-Man show that does Green Goblin, and then a season later, Hobgoblin shows up. You know, we do Venom, then we build up to Carnage. We let shit build naturally. You know what I mean? I'd love to see that kind of shit. And yeah, Ghost Rider, I feel like I could do a ton of shit with. You know what I would do? You could really do something cool with. Disney Plus could do it right now. I was just rereading some of the old shit. Captain Universe.
Yeah, Captain Universe. I was wondering
because again, you could do this cool anthology thing where every episode is a different person getting the becoming Captain Universe.
Oh no, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna wait until the Marvel Universe starts to teeter and they're not sure what to do with it. And then they're gonna do Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man as Captain Universe crossover, and that'll be how they try and save it at some point. Because like Guardians of the Galaxy are like the big thing that they've got going on, and Spider-Man's a big thing.
Again, I am baffled by especially since they've introduced the multiverse and they've introduced the public. Hey, there's many, many different worlds. I am baffled by the fact that they insist on beating this particular fucking version to death. Like all the interesting characters are dead, or the actors are gone, and they don't want to do it anymore, or whatever. It just baffles me. It's like I don't give a fuck about the MCU in its current state. I don't. Like just like 5 characters I might go see a solo movie of.
Yeah, neither do I really. I mean, like, I haven't watched anything since She-Hulk. I didn't even watch She-Hulk. I saw the She-Hulk ad.
I watched WandaVision, and that was the only Disney Plus show I watched. You know what? I slogged through Falcon and Winter Soldier show, and it sucked. And I slogged through it out of almost habit, and at the end of it was like, nah, I think I'm done. I liked WandaVision, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't great. It just was fine.
I watched parts of WandaVision and got bored, and I watched
WandaVision hooked me because of the mystery, and I think it paid off reasonably well.
I watched that,
and I love Paul. I love that actor as Vision. Like he just really does carry every scene he's in.
I watched the last thing that I remember watching was the Red Hulk and Falcon thing. I can't even remember what that was.
That was technically Captain America 4.
Yeah, and then I watched the series Wonder Man. I watched Wonder Man, and I was fucking really gutted about Wonder Man because I just felt like, what even is this? Like, I waited a whole season. I like that.
Oh, I watched What If, and the only episodes that I kind of like, I liked the episode where Doctor Strange tried to like change his own past and he ended up destroying his whole universe. And I like I kind of like the Marvel Zombies episode, and the rest of it I was like, nah. So I like that one kind of. I liked a few episodes of it. I don't know, man. Oh, and I started watching Spider Noir, which it's all right.
It's
carried by Nick Cage.
Dude, I tried to watch Spider Noir no less than fucking 4 times, and I got to episode 3, and I just can't watch it. I just don't care. I want to. I like Spider-Man. I like Nick Cage. I just don't care.
It's carried by Nick Cage. It's entirely carried by Nick Cage.
But
I like Nick Cage's shit. I like Nick Cage's Ghost Rider movies. I'm going to be honest. I think for a comic book movie of that time, the first Ghost Rider movie is pretty good.
Demo Goblin would be great, but I don't think that he could be a...
Yeah, again, that's something you're certainly not going to introduce him in a fucking movie. You know what I mean? That's something you kind of have to build up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the first Ghost Rider movie. The second one's all right too. It's funny, the first Ghost Rider movie actually made my one buddy a huge comic book fan. He loved that movie so much. He had never really read any comics. He had maybe seen some of the shows. He's my age. He had seen some of the shows in the 90s, you know what I mean? But he's like following me to comic book stores, and he's like, yeah, I want to get into Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider, the 90s version at least, was quite the team-up slut. So next thing you know, he's getting into Punisher. He's getting into Spider-Man.
Okay, speaking of Punisher, I saw a YouTube video the other day where the Punisher where Ghost Rider uses the penance stare on the Punisher, and then there's this panel of him just staring blankly, and then the next panel is him saying, and this is the Punisher saying, "I don't care," and then he just shoots the fucking Ghost Rider.
I don't think it should work that way.
I don't think so either.
I think the penance stare should be based on an objective morality. Because otherwise it wouldn't work on half the villains he uses.
Yeah, it shouldn't work on anyone. I was like, it's meant to be like this ultimate fucking fuck you shutdown. It works on Galactus. It works on fucking Galactus, but like,
yeah, Galactus got to stop feel the billions of souls he's snuffed out.
Yeah, and the motherfucker just uses pen and stare on fucking Castle because like, I don't give a shit, and just shoots him. And I'm like,
see, Frank Castle's in a tough place writer wise because you either have the guys that write him as like just ultimate plot armor, like he's always got a plan or he's always got some Wile E. Coyote fucking bullshit like Batman that he pulls out of his ass to get out of this, or you got the guys that fucking hate Punisher because they're hardcore leftists and they don't like the fact that Punisher shoots scumbags in the face. And then they try to write him in ways that just basically tear him down. Like they try to write him out of existence, essentially. I'm a firm believer in like, there's almost two extremes I take where it's like, there's two characters in comics I use as a litmus test. One is Superman. If you're somebody that's like, Superman is boring and I don't like him, I kind of think you're a pussy. Or not a pussy. I kind of think you're a cynical asshole. And if you're somebody that's like Punisher's problematic, I kind of think you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Because like both of those are great characters in their own right. And both of them represent just iconic things that resonate to good men, really. So like, yeah, they're both great characters. You know what? I love the 2008 Punisher movie with Ray Stevenson's. I love that movie so much. That is the best Punisher ever. That movie fucking rules. Before the Daredevil show introduced Punisher, I insisted on believing it was MCU.
Yeah, Punisher Warzone? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, great film.
Oh, God, that movie rules. I've heard so many people shit on it, and I'm like, why? I don't get it. That movie got a lot of people shit on it. I'm like, this movie fucking rules. The Newman from Seinfeld is so good as Microchip. There's so many scenes in there that just legitimately like make me fucking laugh. Like there's like they'll introduce and build up guys just to knock them right down. Like there's that parkour fucking Jamaican assassin dude, and as he's doing parkour, Punisher just hits him with a fucking rocket launcher and turns him to red mist. There's that scene where like because he's storming that whole tower with all those gangs, and there's all those like gangbangers in this room, and he just shoves a grenade launcher through the drywall and fucking blows them up. There's so many satisfying like action movie shit going on in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "What's your plan?" He's like, "I'm gonna go in and get him." And like Jigsaw is so over the top and wonderful, and that movie rules.
It's a great movie.
I like the Thomas Jane one for what it's fine. And for a 2004 comic book movie, I would even say it's pretty damn good. But man, that 2008 one, that was where I'm like, this is Punisher.
Yeah.
This right here, it's like you took the comic and you just like, you knew the assignment, man.
Yeah. I love that we can talk about this stuff.
Warzone is legitimately one of my favorite. If I had, and this is almost a hard thing to do at this point because there's been so many, but if I had the like top 25 comic book movies ever, Warzone is definitely making that list. That's kind of a high bar because there's been so many.
We should have a day where we actually organize this shit and go through and make the definitive list, like best shit ever, worst shit ever. Like, actually, so much stuff's come out now. You know, like, there's so much stuff that it took me like 3.5 to 4 hours just to box all my fucking superhero DVDs to prepare for the move, right? There's that many of them, and there's more than I own. I own most of it, but there's more than I even own. It was 3 hours of doing nothing else but just packing DVDs. There's so many good movies and good things that no one really fucking talks about.
There's a lot of superhero movies I defend that a lot of people hate. Like, I like the Green Lantern movie. I could definitely imagine a much better Green Lantern movie. Like, I would kind of basically do Training Day in space with Hal, like, under the wing of Sinestro and then having to kind of betray Sinestro when he realizes what Sinestro really is. That said, though, I think we got a pretty decent Green Lantern movie, and I don't know why it's shit on as much as it is. I like the Ghost Rider movie. Everybody shits on that. I like the two Fantastic Four movies, the ones from the 2000s. I hate Dr. Doom in them. He sucks in those movies.
Yeah, Doom sucks.
Everything else is great in those movies.
Yeah, fantastic.
I like the Ben Affleck Daredevil. You know what I don't like in the Ben Affleck Daredevil? I don't like Elektra. Because I think Jennifer Garner sucks, and I think Elektra is not that interesting of a character anyways. Everything else in that movie works for me. The guy playing Bullseye works fine. Ben Affleck's quite good when he actually gives a fuck, and he did in that role. Michael Clark Duncan is the Kingpin. You know, I know there's way too much race swapping now, but it fucking worked. I like Spider-Man 3. I don't think Spider-Man 3 is that bad. There's bad things about it. The whole Sandman killed Uncle Ben shit is abysmal. Yeah. You could tell that Sam Raimi was kind of fucking up Venom on purpose because he hated that character, which is sort of petty. Yeah. That's my opinion. I think he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I will say, though, there's still a lot that works well about that. And that scene where Sandman is putting himself together is amazing filmmaking. Mm-hmm. That is like a small, silent movie in and of itself. There's so much emotion in all that.
Now, I know that you don't want to watch this, but I want you to watch this few seconds. So share the screen for a second. You can give me a few seconds of your time.
What is this?
This is a part
Is this all the gay porno people send you?
Yeah, that's right. No, this is
Dude, I can't remember. Somebody sent me a clip where you're going on about people sending you gay porno, and I'm sorry, dude. I love it.
Like every day.
I laugh my ass off at that. That's so old school internet, though. That's like sending people lemon party and meat spit. No,
but dude, like every single day, it goes to not only but my wife's phone inbox. So like I wake up and every morning as we have breakfast. Yeah, well, that'll be the third time I've had to change my phone number. So I'll sit there and every morning I just delete my fucking inbox out because there's just people just playing gay porn down.
I don't understand. Is it like it's to your phone?
It's in my phone message bank. They film and my wife's phone message bank.
So wait, like it's your voicemail? It's just like the sounds of gay porn?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm sorry, dude. I know that sucks, but that sounds like something I would do if I was fucking with somebody. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I really if I wanted to fuck with somebody and I'm like, well, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to cause them genuine harm, but I want to fuck with them. I'd be like, here's the sound of two dudes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And they talk like
it's
Buffalo.
So silly.
And they talk like Buffalo Bob and shit into the fucking phone and say degenerate shit sometimes. So I don't fucking
Are you sure that's not just Yellow Flash and Eric Children?
I mean, I don't know who the fuck it's probably CBR, Yellow Flash's mod. He's the guy doing most of this shit. But it's just annoying. So I sit there every morning and I delete until I got an empty.
I can't remember what it was, but I hopped into some fucking live
people
stream.
Can't send us messages and stuff because our message banks are always full of this shit.
I hopped into some Google Hangout back. I think it was actually one of the ones Medicare was in where he was talking. He wasn't with Ross, but he was talking about Ross. And when they threw him out, he just threw the link to the Hangout on Twitter. And I hopped in there and they had already shut it down, but there was 5 other people in there. And this was back on like Google Hangouts, and one of the
Yeah.
guy's avatars, and I don't even know how he did this, was a fucking gif of meat spin. Like he was trying to put that on their YouTube channel. That's why he hopped in there.
Yeah.
But like they had shut down the Hangout. They'd shut down the live stream before. But I just saw the guy and I was like, that would have been funny if they.
Yeah, it's okay. Back to the actual.
Like that memory popped back as soon as you're like telling me like people singing gay porn on my phone.
You know, when it first happened, I laughed. I went fucking dickheads, and I deleted it. But then when like it's become ritual,
Yeah, I can imagine it's just relentless. But like
yeah,
that's so old school internet. That's like go to lemonparty.org shit. Like
yeah.
It's old school. We're talking about like 2007 Ghost Rider. They're bringing back 2007 memes. All right.
So this is,
okay.
This is Hal Jordan in his Lanterns outfit, right?
Okay, nice and depressing. I love it.
Yeah. Watch. Look at our boy here.
Is he so old? He looks so old.
Isn't it great? I love it. I think he's so old. I think that he's so old so they could get the receding hairline of Sinestro. Right? Like,
you know what? He looks a little too human.
No. Let's say what he actually is.
So what were you saying?
He looks Sinestro looks a little too human. I feel like we could have Star Trek'd up that forehead a little bit more.
You
like,
think? Yeah.
This kind of just feels like Pink Dude. Like, no, I think we could have Star Trek'd up the forehead a little bit more.
I think he looks great. I was actually really impressed with his
it's good makeup job. I'm just saying like the direction we're going with it. I would have inhumaned him a bit more. I would have like this just looks like Pink Dude where I would have made him look a bit more alien.
Yeah, well, what if this is him at like 20? Is then he more alien because he looks like an old guy?
Does he only live to 25?
But yeah, no, I just thought I thought they looked good, and there's the costume. You know what I mean? I thought I wasn't too impressed with it until I saw this trailer, and I thought this trailer was all right. They're fighting the man-eaters.
You know what I would do with a Green Lantern show, like an actual kind of like theme I would explore in it is a question of like jurisdiction. Like, okay, so you're Green Lantern and you're like, I'm coming down here and I beat up this supervillain, right? And I'm going to take him to the jail on Oa. And then like Amanda Waller comes by and goes, oh, actually that's an American citizen and you're not going to do that. We're going to put him on trial. And like, well, no, he's committed crimes against Oa. And she's like, well, what the fuck is that? Get off our planet. Like, and then like more shit like that. Like you come down as a Green Lantern on some planet and you're like, I'm the law around here. And it's like, even if you have like the power to force that on people are going to resent that. Like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like a story where you come down, like two factions are in war on a planet. You come down there and just put a stop to it and make everybody sit down and get to the peace table. You know what I mean? But then at that point, like both of them are like resenting you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, who the fuck are you to come in here and do, like?
Well, you're the guy that can like snap your fingers and.
Well, yeah, you're the guy that has the power, but that's a little different than having the moral authority. You know what I mean?
Well,
So there's a lot of worlds where they'd be like, well, who says you get to come down here and tell us what to do? Like you're not the same species as us. You know what I mean? You like, who are you to tell us how to live?
No, look,
I'm not even saying that it's wrong for the Green Lantern to do this, but I would like to see a little pushback of that. I'd like a little bit of like Star Trek space opera more, where it's like, well, who the fuck are you? And it's like, I'm the Green Lantern. It's like, well, it's funny you mention it because like a guy just like you but yellow came down recently and said he was in charge.
Yeah.
So why don't you two duke it out and get back to us? You know, like those kind of questions.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Actually, where does he live?
That's funny. There was an orange guy who just came by and stole our shit. Like we've kind of had enough of all of you.
Yeah. See, that'd be great. Imagine coming to a world that's just destitute of fucking resources. It's like you've got no idea what's happened. Like, Hal Jordan, blah blah blah, like, you know, investigate this planet. You like fly over there, and the planet's just fucking, you know, people cannibalizing each other, and it's fucking apocalypse. Everything's on fire and shit. And like he like looks his little dossier, and it's just like this utopian, peaceful world like 5 years ago. Like, what the fuck happened? And Laughley's is just taking everything, man, and he's like living on the moon. And he just has all their shit. There's all their natural resources, everything. And so they've been at war with each other. They resent him because he's a lantern, and they has to go deal with that. Has to fight Laughley's on the fucking, you know, jungle moon of their planet with all of their fucking shit, so they can restore peace to it. That'd be cool.
I would like to see more issues like that. More just
Dude, no. We have it that Laughley's, right? Laughley's has not only taken all their shit, he's taken all their shit, so they got like nothing left. So he started to steal the oxygen of their planet and bring it to the moon. You know what I mean? So now there's not even enough oxygen on their planet, and people are dying off, and that's what alerts the Green Lanterns to go investigate. So he's like stealing their fucking air. Laughley's is an interesting character.
Stories where like Green Lanterns get involved, and he's like kind of, you know, regional or just on a planet, or maybe even in a single solar system. Maybe there's two worlds that have intelligent life, and they've been at war with each other since they developed the tech to, you know, reach each other. You know what I mean? And maybe like this war has gone on so long that there's like no good guys, or each one thinks they're the good. And it's like you step in there, and it's like, okay, well, maybe you don't really understand this conflict that well. You don't even understand these people that well. And you're coming in there and just swinging your dick around and being like, well, this is how it's going to be now. And maybe you got to watch that. Maybe there's unintended consequences to that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the kind of things I'd love to see tackled in a Green Lantern story.
And it's even how it's tackled between it. Because, like, if you just took the Earth Green Lanterns and slap them all there, and maybe Kilowog too, right? Like, all of these guys have a different style of policing and a different personality. Like, imagine the difference between Guy Gardner in that exact scenario that you're talking about and, like, Hal Jordan. Like, they would handle this. It's like different captains of a fucking starship. Completely different fucking show based on whatever lantern is there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you take any one of those guys. I mean, most of them are American. I think there's a fucking Muslim one now. I don't know about him. But, like, whatever. It's like you're an American citizen. You're a member of the Justice League, and you're a member of the Green Lantern Corps. And, you know, in comics, most of the time, all three of those obligations line up pretty neatly. But I'd love to see stories where they don't. You know?
One moment.
Chat says Norwood Sinestro. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do get a big old... I do get a big old like dad slop vibe off that show, like Jack Reacher with a Green Lantern ring. Chad says one of the criticism was what the Green Lantern was. It was Hal and not John Stewart. I like Hal more though. Always kind of have. And I mean, that's not even like he was like Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern when I first came into comics. Like that was the first. You know, I had barely ever heard of Green Lantern, and Kyle Rayner was really my first introduction to it, but I like Hal more. And it's not even like Hal is most like me. I know a lot of people are like, I like the characters who are most like me. I would hate Hal Jordan if I fucking knew him. Like, I would despise that motherfucker. Him and I would not get along at all. I am more like Kyle. I am a goofball and just fucking douchebag. Like, no. I would butt heads with Hal more, but I find Hal more interesting.
You know who the first Lantern that I ever encountered was? It was actually the blonde guy in the red who had a weakness to wood. Because
Alan Scott?
There are old comics of him in the Grafton Public Library when I was a little kid. And that's when I learned about Green Lantern, and then I only read him there, never saw and heard from him again. And then when I saw him, I saw Kyle Rayner flying around, I went, "That's not the Green Lantern. Like, what the? He's red and he's a blonde guy. What the fuck?"
When I went to go see the Green Lantern movie, but a couple of buddy of mine, I went with a few of my comic nerds, and my dad tagged along because my dad gets along great with my friends, and he'll often tag along for our
Yeah.
little things because he's just an old man, likes being included, you know. And he's like, "Oh, what are we seeing?" I'm like, "We're seeing Green Lantern." He goes, "Oh, I remember Green Lantern. I remember there was a Green Lantern show." And I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, there was a Green Lantern TV show when I was a kid." And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, there's no way there was a Green Lantern. Like, you mean like a cartoon? He goes, "No, it's live action." And I'm like, "There's no way that fucking exists. There's no way that existed, and I never heard of it."
Yeah.
And he thought we met Green Hornet.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
So we're going in there, and like, I remember like that movie starts with this giant info dump about billions of years ago and shit, and he's already like he's like, "Oh, this is not what I remember.
Where's the karate?
I thought, where's his cool car?" The funniest story I have, and I'm going to end the stream with this because I've told it before, but it's just funniest story I have of my dad seeing comic book movies with my friends. We went to go see Watchmen opening weekend, right? And you know how in the comic there's like a one panel love scene between Night Owl and Silk Spectre? Well, it's this huge fucking scene in the movie. Like I think they play the whole Jeff Buckley Hallelujah song. You know what I mean? Like they're changing positions in this movie. This scene goes the fuck on. And as it's going on, I just remember my dad kind of blurts out, and I almost died laughing. He kind of just blurts out, he goes, "Man, Owlman's throwing some dick." And I'm like, there was like, I think my one buddy, like Pepsi coming out of his nose kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like, we're all like trying to not laugh out loud in a movie theater. You know what I mean? And I remember my one buddy kind of leads in and goes like, his character's name's Night Owl, right? And my dad just crosses his arms, like kind of with like an almost angry look on his face, and just goes, "Owlman's a better name." Like, he's just like in his head, "No, that's Owlman. What are you talking about?" Like, the thing you said is stupid.
I reject your reality. And
I reject that. His name is Owlman.
Yeah.
Night Owl. That's stupid. He's like Batman, but an owl. He's Owlman.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this on. We went on for 2 hours. Real quick, I'm going to check, see if I got any super chats, because I have a super chat Streamlabs thing. Let's see. And then,
all right,
folks,
mate.
all right. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks
Folks,
for having me.
If you do enjoy the content, consider supporting the show. Streamlabs.com/thebeglov, paypal.com/thebeglov. And looks like somebody subscribed. That's nice. All right. So that's about it for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll be here again next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Beglov out.